Hello everyone, welcome to Wing Paper Crafting. My name is Angel Fitch. If you're new around here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm so glad you've all decided to join me today for Fun Fold Friday. So today we're going to use our Fun Fold Friday template that we made on Tuesday during Template Tuesday. And we've got this cute little pattern paper that we're going to put on the front and kind of fold these corners back, and it makes a really cute card. So let's get started. So we're going to start tonight with a piece of strawberry slush that is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to give this a good burnish so that it lays nice and flat. I have a piece of cardstock of white, basic white for the inside, that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then for the outside, I've got another piece of basic white that's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So we're going to put this on the front. We're going to have just a very, very, very tiny border around it, which just kind of makes it look, I don't know, sophisticated or something. Just the tiniest bit peeking around. Okay, so there's that. We're just going to center that up and press that down. So there's that. Now, we've got a piece of this pattern paper that was from during last summer, and it is still available. It's called Florals in Bloom, and I picked this because I am so sick of winter. I don't know if you all are or not, but there's been a couple of warm days here lately, and I just want it to be spring. So I picked this nice springy paper. So let's see what we're going to do here. We are going to, first we got to cut our paper. So let's put this stuff aside. I'm going to get my paper trimmer out here. I guess I better put the lid back on the glue first. So this piece is 4 by 5 1/4. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we are going to put the upper right hand corner and the lower left hand corner in our cutting channel. So right hand corner all the way to the top, and then we're going to make sure that both points are in the cutting channel. I'm going to move the cutting blade out of the way because what we're going to do is score. So we're going to use our scoring blade, and we're going to come down here to about 3 1/4, which is what I've decided that makes this work the best. And you can always adjust it if you need to, but 3 1/4 is pretty close. And then we are going to rotate this so that we're going to use this other corner, and we're going to do the same thing. So we're going to line all the way up in our cutting channel, all the way up at the top. Okay, we're going to take the scoring blade, and we're going to go again down to 3 1/4. So I just kind of keep my finger here so I know where I'm stopping at. Okay, now I know this will be really hard to see on camera, but that was perfect. It came right to a point right here. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. But now we need to find the center and make a cut. So let's see. We're going to do, it's 5, what did I say it was? 5 1/4, right? So we're going to do, let's see. Line this up right there. So we're going to do 2, just trying to figure out where that is in the center. So it looks like we're at about 2 5/8 being our center point. Now we're going to move our scoring blade out of the way because we're actually going to cut now. So the point is right here. So that's at just about a hair over the 2. So I'm just going to cut down. Here's the 2. I'm going to go just a tad bit beyond that. Okay. Perfect. Right where we want it to be. Okay. So now we're going to take this and we're going to fold these back. And we're going to give these a good burnish. And we'll fold this one back just like that. Perfect. Okay. Now, in order to keep these flaps down, we're going to take a mini glue dot, and I'm going to just roll one of these off of here with my take your pick tool, and I'll put it right on here, and we'll push that back, and then that will hold that flap back. So we'll take another one, for the other side. I'm just going to put it on here and then fold that back. All right, perfect. Okay, now we're going to bring that back in. We're going to bring our card base back in, and we're going to put some glue on here, and we're just going to put this down. So let's put some glue on this. And I'm going to line this up so that I have just, I don't know, maybe 1/8 of an inch border on the left hand side there. So basically you should have the same amount left, top, and bottom. So get as close as you can. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and I'm going to push that down. All right. Looks pretty already. Now we're going to do some stamping before we put our focal piece on. So I'm going to use this Charming Day stamp set, and in this we're going to use the Thanks for Being You and then You Made My Day on the inside. We are going to stamp in Strawberry Slush. So let me get this out here. And we're going to take these dreaded red rubber stamps and we are going to do our best to put this down without messing this up. All right, so I'm going to line this up. I'm going to take this and I'm going to put it kind of in the center, but closer to the right hand side. So let's see if we can just put this down. Try not to rock the block and don't push too hard. We can give it a couple of seconds there. And then we've got that. Perfect. Okay. Now, on the inside, we've got the You Made My Day. So again, we're going to ink this up and try our best. This one, because it's smaller, is a little harder not to mess up, but I'm going to try. So we're going to get this down. And again, I'm not pressing very hard and I'm not rocking the block. So straight down, straight back up. Perfect. Okay. I have to say that was better than any of my practice ones. All right. So let's go ahead and get our inside put down and then we will finish out the front. So this really is not a hard card at all. It's a little tricky to get through that cutting on the front, but once you do it, it's not bad. So we're just going to line this up here on the inside, center it, push that down. All right, back on the front now. I also cut from the Charming Day set. There in the dies, there were these beautiful roses. So this cluster here is what I used to cut out our flowers out of Strawberry Slush. And it looks like we can use our take your pick tool to kind of poke out these places in these that come out. So we'll just get rid of a few of these things. And I think that's all of them. So that looks pretty good. We're just going to put this down right here in order to cover up our little place where we did our cutting. So I'm going to put these on some dimensionals. So let's get these. And basically I'm just putting on the big spots. So we'll just do this and this. About 3 of them, and we'll leave all the little things to just kind of flap in the wind, as they would say. All right, so we're going to do right here. And you know what? I want to try something here. Let's scoot this over away from where we took our little pieces out, because if we put it in the middle, it's going to show. Let me use a different one here. I'm trying not to let this show. We might have to use little ones now that if you leave those pieces in there, you don't have to worry about it, but I wasn't thinking. That one's okay. That one doesn't show. This one kind of shows. So let's see if we can move this over to where it won't show. Oops, that's not good. Let me get some little ones because the big ones aren't going to work now. That's okay. We have plenty of little ones. We can definitely... Oops, those are big too. Hold still. I got ones right here. Let's use... Okay, if I wanted big ones, all I would be able to find would be little ones. I promise. It's just the way it works. Alright, here's my envelope of them. So let me dig out some tiny ones here. I know I've got some. Here we go. Alright, so let's get a couple of these little ones. And then we can put these around where they're not going to show. So I might have to use a couple more than I was originally going to use, but that's okay. I have plenty. The trick is you don't want these to show through the front, and I just wasn't thinking when I took those pieces out. That one we're good with, so let's just take the backs off of the rest of these. If I can get them off. Okay, a couple more. Alright, now we're in business. Alright, so let's go ahead and put this down right here. So just barely up to the side of our greeting. There we go. Perfect. And there. Too cute. Alright, last but not least, we need some bling. So I've got some of these in color pearls that the strawberry slush was part of this. So let's use these. So we're going to take a big one and we're going to put here and a medium one here and a tiny one up here. Perfect. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so here's the card that we made. And all the rest of them that I have samples of are basically the same. Actually, they are the same. I just used different paper. So here's the first one. And this came from a very old paper pack that was called, I can tell you real quick in case you might have it, Favored Flowers. And this is Blackberry Bliss. And you see in here I didn't poke those centers out of those flowers. So you can do it either way. So there's that one. And then we have one using that Serene Love paper that I like so much. Same deal. I didn't poke the centers out. So I like it both ways though. You could do either. And then this one is also, I believe, that Serene Love paper. So there are our thank you cards for tonight. So don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, and I will be back tomorrow with our next paper pumpkin for February. So I will see you all then. Have a crafty evening. Bye.